they unfolded. So now I'm teaching my little girls, like, as they continue to get older and grow up and mature into young ladies and then into adults, I won't see those types of things, and I'm gonna be proud of that, because we're not gonna have to say, well, dang, you got that from your mama, or dang, you doing what mommy used to do. Like, I'm not gonna have to worry about that, and I know that, because I gotta make those decisions to stop throwing myself out in the fire, or doing things or going back on my word for certain things just to make other people happy, because you get one life to live. You get one life to live. And I always told people, when I got over depression, and I gotta start taking my own advice, but when I got over depression, one thing that helped me get over depression, because I thought I had a dream one day, and I was just like, dang, if I die tomorrow, everybody who got me in this position to be dead or stressed out and gone, they're gonna be going to, and I just made up anything. I'm like, they're gonna be at a party clubbing it and rest in peace Keesha and be on with their happy life. And I was like, dang, and I'm gonna be nowhere in nobody else's memory, because I didn't let all these other people stress me out to the point where I can't even live my life anymore. And I got to get back to that mentee of not allowing people to live my life for me, especially when you don't know me to that capacity to do that. So, it's just growing up. You got to grow up and become a woman. Okay, but let me try to take another call.
I feel like Posh hit the question dead on the nail.
She definitely did.
I really hope you listen to Posh. Keesha, I've been following you ever since the days of Jayla. Okay, so that tells you how long I've been around watching you. Listen to Posh. There's a saying that familiarity breeds contempt. Anytime you see people building up people to a certain point, they do revel in taking them down. And I just think the more people know about you, for some reason, it shouldn't be that way, but the more they'll come at you. So I just hope you listen to her and maybe try it, and just go ahead and, keep something for yourself.
Thank you so much for that. I definitely.
You're pressing the right button, but you also have to invite the caller to come up and converse with you guys.
This is probably something. It's probably a lot of calls from y'all.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
going
just wanted to give advice to Keisha. I know I don't know you personally, only what I see on the vlogs, and I've been following you for quite some time. But if you don't remember anything else, at the end of the day, this is your decision on your lifestyle. Just remember that other people BS will be the main thing to take you down. So what you could do is control what you're able to control, and make sure that you're doing the best that you very can, and make sure you pray and let that guide you and lead you in the way, and everything else will be what it is, as long as you're doing your part, what you can control, and you're happy with that, and you can sleep at night with the decisions that you made. You will be fine, because you know ultimately what your goal is in mind. Just wanted to share that with you, Keisha.
And I wonder what your sign is. My best friend says this to me all the time. She's the most level-headed person in the world. She's a Capricorn. The girls are a Capricorn too. So I hope they take a page out of her book. But she's so level-headed and always tells me, Keisha, you can only control yourself. Like, you only can control yourself. Like, stop trying to, save and rescue and help everybody else when they have to live their own lives and make decisions and figure things out for themselves. And you trying to fix everybody else, you're going to be the one end up broken, and everybody else going to have been built up.
Agree.
Hey Keisha, I feel like no matter if you choose to be a daily vlogger or not, if people are going to try to come for you, they're going to try to come for you regardless if you're vlogging daily. Like she said, you just have to pick and choose what it is that you choose to put out there. As far as like relationship, don't allow YouTube to take control of your mental. But as far as a blogger, I just feel like there's just negative people out there that just want to see you down. So no matter if you vlog 10 times a week or just 2, if they're coming for you, they're coming for you. I just think that you can't allow YouTube to control your mental, and stay positive and just be you, and just be the genuine Keisha that everybody enjoys for your babies, for the sake of your babies.
Thank you so much, Danielle. I hope I pronounced your name right, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
Are you guys going to allow some of us to ask questions just based on everything that has been happening?
Yes, if you guys have some questions, I definitely will, allow you guys to ask some questions. I know there's things that are unresolved or unanswered, but yeah, I'm definitely open to you guys asking some questions.
Hi, Keisha. Hi, Posh. Don't know you. I'm not too familiar.
Hey Keish, I'm a subscriber on all of your platforms, and I just want to say being transparent is what draws me to you because you're just so real, and I love that realness about you. So, if you want to take away from.
Oh, wait, are people's questions getting cut off?
Hey Keisha, I've been watching you since you was at Spelman. I think you're a very smart young lady. I do understand things have happened and transpired, and sometimes we don't always know the best way of delivering some private information that you knew eventually was going to become public. Don't allow anybody to tell you how to deal with your disappointment, your hurt, and your letdown. Only you know how to deal with that. But the best thing that you can do to protect your kids, because people are vicious, nasty, do whatever you think that is going to be helpful for you and keep them protected. If that is not doing daily vlogs or not showing certain things about your children, don't do it. Because everybody, we're not deserving of knowing every aspect of your life. Whatever you show us is what we get. And that is it. Have a good day.
I like her.
I know.
She just cleared the room.
Thank you so much. That is so, and I think for me, it's just sometimes even when, like, I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna interject this part of my life, or as an influencer, you just don't understand. Just like I'm sure a lot of celebrities who are real, real celebrities don't imagine waking up and on the shade room and boom, they're in a scandal and this business is out and that business is out, and then you trying to do damage control. And whereas when you are in the limelight, when you are an influencer, when you are a public figure, anyone would want to protect their reputation. And anyone who doesn't just really doesn't care about that position. And that is okay. It's to each his own. But since this is something that is a career, I'm a brand. I've always stood by certain things I do. There are certain ways because I know some people. When you're watching my vlogs, I'm a mom. I'm a brand. You're not gonna hear some of the raw conversations I may have with my girlfriends, or certain things that I may do in my personal life and how I may behave or talk to. It's not to say that I'm not real because I don't come on camera and be that. It's just that there's a time and a place. Just like at your job, there's a time and a place to cut certain things on and turn things off. When I show up and show out how I want people to view me in a respectful manner, the educated woman who I am, that's how I want to show up to my platform. That's how I want to represent as a mother. Now, when I turn my camera off and I'm with my homegirls, I'm with my family, and we can joke and we can laugh and I can do this and I can do that, that's just how it is. So I've always wanted to my own detriment, control the narrative of how I'm perceived on social media. And that's just because you have to do that when that is your job. And as a brand, that is what, I know a lot of people, are wondering, like, why did y'all put out this book? Why did y'all put out this book? And it's just for me, like, for us, before we even had an opportunity to open our mouths and even fix ourselves to say this is what happened, we already had people online sharing our business. So it's kind of like, for me, I never want anybody to talk about what's going on in my household. I always feel like if I'm gonna share something that's going on over here, y'all gonna hear from my mouth. So don't gotta be nobody else coming to say I got this tea, or let me capitalize off your pain and off your situation. So I think for me and for us personally, when we made that decision for that book, it was for that reason and that reason alone. It is not against the law to monetize off of your own personal situation. It is not against the law. I know a lot of people felt that way, but we try our best, and for that particular situation, it wasn't even about that. It was more so the book was supposed to be our relationship, and because that's exactly what the book was about. A lot of people just went and flipped the page to number 51 out of 52 and decided that's the whole story, when there was 49 pages or prior to that where we talked so, and like we went deeply about our own personal relationships and our adversities and our life and within ourselves, and how we even got to where we were before that situation occurred. But that was just a way for us, in a healthy manner, for us to be able to get our story out, so that we won't have to do like oh y'all, here we are with some dang on tea, and then we don't really have any backstory, any, like, y'all don't really know the process, because that's not something that you take lightly. So that's just what it was. Now, good, bad, or indifferent of how it went down, like I said, I definitely feel as though, since all parties involved knew before the book hit the internet, because it was an ebook, before the book hit the internet, all parties involved gave the okay. All parties involved 100% knew what the book was about, how we were spinning the narrative, what was going to go and take place in the book. It was not one person who was clueless. It was not one person who was blindsided. It was not one person who was oblivious to what happened in real life versus what was shared in the book. I think that once social media gets a hold of your business, just like with me and Posh, when we had our situation happen, when social media feels as though like they're a part of your story and they're a part of your pain and your situation, they are then making their own opinions and their own assertions of what they feel and what they don't feel. And if you're not strong, if you're weak, or you haven't been really at the forefront of taking scrutiny of social media, you can fall. I've seen some of the sweetest, strongest people fall under the hands of social media scrutiny because they can't take that negativity, and I get it. But that's why I'm very careful and I'm very selective with who I bring on my platform. Some of my friends y'all will never see, because they couldn't watch a vlog and go to the comments and how y'all pick me apart. They could never handle that. So some of my friends I've been friends with for years, y'all will never see them because they can't handle that. So that's why I try to moderate to the best of my ability how and what I include and what I share on my platform, because I'm the story you guys are looking at. You guys are watching and supporting me. So anytime there's a part where you have to bring someone else into your business or into your platform, your domain where you make your money, there's a certain kind of way you have to do it. And like I said, in that particular regard for the book, we felt like that was the best way, and all parties involved agreed. Now, how things happen once it got to social media world, or how, when people go behind and, go talk to one person and say, oh, this is what it looks like, then you start feeling like, maybe this was what it was, or whatever you feel could have possibly happened in between of that. But all in all, I just feel like this situation has definitely escalated and taken a turn for a ultimate worse, when you bring kids into a situation to be targeted and bullied and harassed off of grown adult situations.
Hi, I'm tuning in right now. Who is Posh? And hope you're doing good, Keisha. I'm sorry that you're going through this, and I hope that you go get stronger through all of this. And good luck.
Okay, I think you should explain, give a little overall, one more preview of who I am to you, because I would understand why they would be confused. They like, who this girl just popped in?
Oh, well, I think she probably, because this is so long ago. These questions are so long ago. We like
Oh,
all
they
the
at the
way, we
beginning.
behind.
Oh,
So I think
okay.
they probably already heard it now. We
Oh,
way
okay.
behind.
So we
We
need to
way
speed it
behind. So
up.
I'm trying to get through as many as possible.
Okay,
If
cool.
I'm not mistaken, is Posh the girl you did the sit down video with? I think it
Yeah,
was in
so
like the
that's why we so
same
behind.
room where you and Jeremy did y'all sit down video.
Yes, but I know y'all, I'm so
It's
sorry.
the
The way it,
details for
it
me.
pops up, it doesn't let us skip anybody's questions. So we have to go in order. So that's why I'm trying not to talk as much, so we can just keep clicking so everybody can be heard. But yeah, that was way behind.
Hey Keisha, I'm a big subscriber on all of your platforms. I just want to say that being transparent has, allowed me to be real in my daily life. And that's one thing I really enjoy about you is how real you are. You know what I'm saying? It's not sugar coated. It's not, what I'm saying, fake. It's 100% you, and it's really authentic. So I can kind of understand if you want to take a step back. And even if you take a step back, I will still enjoy all of your vlogs, all of your contents. And, I think you should kind of, just enjoy the opportunity to take a step back and enjoy yourself. So thank you so much for allowing us to be able to listen to you on stereo. Bye.
Thank you, girl. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Y'all, I'm gonna keep trying to click because I want everybody to feel like they had an opportunity. I know nobody don't want to sit here all day, so I'll just keep pressing.
Hey Keisha, I just want to commend you for with everything going on. Can do as long as you're learning from it, as long as you're taking in all of the feedback from your viewers, I feel like you'll do fine.
Thank you so much. And I definitely feel like as though, that is one of the most hurtful parts about this is outside of constructive criticism or even people saying an opinion that does not align or agree with mine. Everyone is not going to agree with what I say, and I definitely understand that. But for me, some of the most hurtful stuff is when I see people who have supported me. I know their usernames at this point. That's how much they've supported me. And I see the negative stuff that they're saying and feeling as though like I deserve the amount of scrutiny that I'm getting right now off of a story that I pretty much have not even been able to share. I feel as though I have not really been able to openly share my side of everything. However, sometimes that's just how the chips fall, and I just gotta keep it pushing.
What's the purpose that you're trying to get out of what you're doing here today?
Wasn't Aisha supposed to be on this interview with you?
Hey Keisha, hey Posh. So my question is, what do y'all have to say to the people who, maybe are side-eyeing y'all's relationship? Because I think that may come up. What do y'all have to say about the people who question y'all's friendship and, even y'all getting on this live together?
I
Hey,
feel it.
okay,
Oh,
go
go,
ahead,
go
babe.
ahead.
Okay, perfect. Hey, Toya Talk. Hey, girl. What I would personally say is we've been friends for way longer than people would ever realize. You get what I'm saying? People don't know the timeline of how long we've been back talking, communicating, sharing, like just being friends. We've been that. And this is something new to y'all, but we've been friends for a very long time. We've been talked it out multiple times about the same situation. We've had repeative talks about it, and it's like when you talk about something so much that it's like where you're clear with that person. Me and Keisha are very much clear with each other before we would ever even let y'all know that we're friends again, because we wanted to make sure that the foundation was straight and that it was genuine on both sides. Go ahead, Keisha.
I definitely agree. Like me, I'm the type of person, I deal with people in real life. If I know you, if I ever called you a friend or somebody I cared about, I don't go to the internet to hash out my issues for the world to see and then come back and do updates and follow ups and all the other stuff. I value my relationships in real life, in real time. So me, like, I feel as though like me and Posh are able to come together like grown women, handle this stuff like grown women, and we don't owe the internet no explanation about like our update about anything. I definitely get it, but what happened was so long ago and it was so petty. Like I just feel like there's just so many more things that are far more important than what I don't even remember honestly no more what the issue was. Like it just was that insignificant and so irrelevant and petty. And when you grow up and you start maturing in your mind and your mental, you don't certain things just fall by the wayside, and you, like you said, you just pick the people in your corner who you knew meant you no harm, and you just keep it rolling with them. But there are people who done far worse things, said far worse things to the both of us. So with each other, it's kind of like, why would we sit here and have an ongoing feud for absolutely no reason? We can come to a common ground because we do common things, and we just be mature women about it.
Agree.
Hey Keisha, I also want to say thank you so much for giving us the ability to have Black Girl Magic, because the Girl Talk show that you are on, I watch it all the time and I really enjoy all of the conversations that you guys have about everything. And it is just so good to see all of you beautiful Black women being able to come together and talk, you know what I'm saying? And even if you guys disagree and agree, I'm glad that there's a platform for us. And I'm so happy that you're allowing those other women to be able to come in and, be a part of what you have going on. So thank you so much, Keisha.
Thank you so much for that. And yes, Girls Like Us TV, we are taking a temporary break. They're very supportive with my process and dealing with my personal life and making sure that my mental is good for that and not putting on too much because, like I said, YouTube is my career. I got to keep them moving. I can't, I'm not the type of person that even if I'm down, I'm not going to stay down and nobody going to see me down. I'm going to keep climbing. I'm going to keep getting to that mountaintop no matter what. I got kids depending on me. I got empires to build for my children. So I'm not going to stay down for too long. And like I said, with my team behind me, knowing that this is something I have to deal with, something that's so important, I'm so grateful that, they were able to respect it and take that break. But when we come back, we'll definitely be strong.
Hi Keisha, hi Posh. I definitely agree with Posh. Keisha, you definitely do share a lot. Like, you're so open, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I just feel like some things that you put onto your platform, looking at me and how if I had a channel and I was so open and like doing vlogs, I wouldn't want to be so open. And I've been following you since you reached 100K, and I've been in and out of your videos, but I love you, girl.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I definitely agree with my openness. But I'm the type of person, if I go like I just be too open with just everybody. And I've always been that way. I talk too damn much, like all throughout school, whenever like teachers be like, your daughter is so smart, but she talks so much. I can talk to anybody and everybody. They couldn't even put me beside the teacher in the timeout because I'm gonna talk to the teacher. They're like, dang girl, you gonna talk to me? Yes, I can talk, 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 talk. And that's just a part of my personality. And no, I'm not ashamed of, who I am. We all got to be different or this world would be very boring. But now I just realize like what happens when you don't learn how to cut that type of stuff off. Like, we all allowed to have our flaws, but we all got to understand those flaws about ourselves and learn how to cut that stuff off.
Do you think being too nice has caused a lot of issues? I understand some people are just naturally nice, and I think people just take advantage of your kindness. So in future, how do you feel like you'll move forward with just general people?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm too nice and people take advantage of that because they know sometimes the nice people are not gonna give them the reaction that they would hope for, so they can definitely take advantage of that. But I, ultimately speaking, like I got to work on that, and I have a little mean in me. I know how to get right with you. I know how to turn that little feisty side up. So don't get me fooled now. But ultimately speaking, like a lot of some of the problems that I have is just from me simply just being just too nice about certain things.
What happened to Aisha? I thought that she would be joining this podcast as well.
Oh yeah, so Aisha
Jamaican.
did have some she's moving and she had some moving things that she had to take care of, and you don't want to be putting too much on people. I know how it feels when there's so much on somebody, but yeah, Aisha's handling that. And y'all will see her again with Girl Talk, and like I said, Posh is definitely fitting to do this topic at hand.
Hey, Keisha and Posh. Absolutely love you, Keisha, and 100% support you. So sorry about everything that you are having to go through. I definitely don't think that you deserve what you're going through. I actually had made a video that I was going to put out in support of you and to start encouraging others to like show you support. Like, you didn't ask for what happened to you. I don't think that you deserved it. I don't think that you did anything wrong. You were hurt. You were trying to deal with that hurt. You reached out to people who you thought that you could trust and they betrayed you. So I definitely don't think you should feel bad. But like Posh said, you definitely have to be careful because there are a lot of crazy people out there who, as you already know, will do crazy stuff like showing up to your place and calling, the brands that you're working with, and just continue to keep your.
Yes, I definitely agree with everything you said, and I definitely, this has just been a real big learning experience. And like I said before, I'm definitely not perfect. I definitely understood my position when it comes to a lot of everything that has transpired, but there were a lot of lies you guys told from different people, and it's just real unfortunate how people have taken a platform that I worked my hardest over these last 7 years to build, without no handout, without no, I've done collaborations with people, but y'all already know, like, y'all seen me come from the very bottom, driving my 1996 Toyota to sell all the way to where I'm at right now. And just to see some people take advantage of that or use this as an opportunity to try to kick me when I'm down. And then for people who support me to hop on that bandwagon, it's just really, really disheartening. But that's just how I feel.
Hey Keisha, hey Posh. I definitely support both of you, and I think should be something that y'all do maybe like once a month. Like Posh said, just uplifting women, advice, especially since you won't be daily vlogging anymore, Keisha. Love y'all.
Hey girl, love you too. Thank you for those who welcomed me with open arms. I truly appreciate it. I know it was some confusion. It's so funny that me and Aisha actually went to college together. So that's how Atlanta is though.
Oh,
All of us that
wow.
yeah, I didn't even tell you that. Yeah, me and Aisha went to college together. So yeah, like we all know each other and we all have always been like me and Aisha didn't even used to be close. But when I say when we see each other walking in class, it's always been a salute, like, hey girl, like we just always been like that. But anyway, I appreciate all of y'all who welcomed me on here. I know y'all want to get down to the bottom of things, and I feel y'all. I just love that y'all are supporting Keisha and just being fair. So, like I said, I just wanted to say that. And thank you, girl. Oh, and she said we should do this on the regular. Yeah, I feel like anything we're talking about real life topics is so fun because you have to think, even you, Keisha, everybody don't have a bunch of friends. And that don't mean there's something wrong with them. That just means you may either be good with picking up bad energy or whatever the case may be. But I feel like us women in general, we all be having stuff where we need just some little output or advice or a different point of view. You get what I'm saying? So stuff like this is fun because even if you haven't went through something like this, we all still have a life to live. We never know what obstacle we're going to have to climb through. So you could go back to that podcast. Like, I remember when Keisha went through that, girl, I end up going through the same thing. And whatever, I'm going to choose to go this way because she went that way or whatever the case may be. Like, it's all something from us to learn from. The good thing about you, Keisha, is that your mistakes are displayed. And that's a bad thing, but I'm going to tell you the good thing about it. It's going to be young girls that you may don't even realize today that you may have inspired them to make a better decision. You get what I'm saying? So you got to start looking at the positive of everything. And when you look at the positive of everything, you start to see the future looking brighter. You get what I'm saying? Just
Definitely.
don't even worry about that. Worry about the people that affected that young girls you may have taught to do better or than your mistakes. And that's all it's about. We make mistakes for us to teach people under us to make better choices.
And I definitely agree with that, Posh. I definitely hope that people can look at my situation and let this be a learning lesson for a lot of different things. And just this has also taught me, which I've never been a judgmental person, so I'm happy about that. But I hope it just teaches others that let's just stop judging others. You just really don't know what people can be going through and what can set people off and trigger people. And we just got to be better towards one another.
Hey Keisha, hey Posh, sending along from London. Keisha, I just want to know, like, how are you getting on with everything in terms of your mental health, in terms of you and Jeremy, in terms of moving forward with your channel and your children. I just want you to know that you're really big over here in London, and a lot of us love you. So keep doing what you're doing and never ever give up. Don't let the haters get to you.
Thank you so very much. I am doing better. Every day is just still, I just try to take the positive and appreciate that more. And like I said, I've been listening to my sermons and just being heavy in prayer and knowing, God is gonna see me through all of this. Me and Jeremy are definitely co-parenting. I still allow him to see his daughters despite what we have going on as adults, and no matter what hurt or feelings I may have towards any of this, I definitely want my daughters to have these memories and experiences with both of their parents no matter what. So he actually is with the girls now, and I'm handling business. So yeah, or this is more so like girl chat, fun time, not really like a business to me, but I really do appreciate that.
Okay, I have two quick questions for you. The first one is, when are you going to go ahead and take a break and just heal? Or do you feel like your previous break was enough for you? And the second question is, are you afraid of being a single mother?
As far as taking a break and healing, I think that the biggest stress factor for me has been the consistent daily vlogging, because when you daily vlog every single day, you have to pick that camera up and get some type of content despite what may be going on in your personal situation. Whereas if I take a break and a step back from daily vlogging and just do maybe 1 or 2 vlogs a week, and then the rest of it some real fun, nice, really thoughtful content videos, I'm taking my personal life off of my channel. So that is a mental break for me. And like I said, this is still my career, and I have goals and aspirations for my daughters and things that I want them to have put in place. And I gotta work, y'all. I gotta work. I can't just, regardless, no matter how much money I got in my bank account, I want more, because I got 3 kids and I want them to be able to have everything. I don't never want them to have to feel as though mommy didn't do her best. But I definitely know that my mental is very important. So my friends and my family, I have been leaning on them. I have been leaning on God. I'm not overexerting myself right now. I'm just trusting my process, taking it step by step. And like I said, there was going to be so many different positive things going on within these next few weeks, y'all. Just stay tuned. What we all been waiting for, y'all, is going to be coming through. So y'all stay tuned.
Hey, Keisha, I just want to say I really love you. I admire your strength. It's really sad what you had to go through as far as your relationship, but just know that you are not alone. I have dealt with a similar situation myself in the past, and you are definitely not alone. I don't think you handled the situation wrong. The only thing I would say is to take yourself out of it. Take care of your girls. Take care of you. And let Jeremy handle his situation that he created. Take yourself out of it. And I do agree with Posh that you overshare, but at the same time, it's hard to tell you not to do that, because that's the thing that makes me relate to you as well. But I totally understand you keeping certain parts of your life private is probably going to be the best thing from now on. But I love you.
Thank you so much. And that is some really, really, really good advice. I really appreciate it.
Hi, Keisha. This is Wusa, and I just wanted to let you know that I am so proud of you, and you are handling this like a mature young lady. And just know that you have a lot of fans out here who care for you, and I am one of them. And I want you to try to focus on more on the positive, and just let you know that I'm praying for you. And small things to a giant. You're going to get through this just fine. I have all the faith in the world that you will get through this just fine. Hugs and kisses to you and the little girls, and your mom. She's phenomenal. So yeah, so that's it. Just keep pushing, girlfriend. You're doing a good job. God bless you.
Thank you so very much. My mother is really phenomenal, and I want to definitely give my hats off to her, because she's been holding me down from the very beginning when I was in her womb until now.
Keisha, ain't your mama
Hello, Keisha. Hello, Posh.
Hello.
Grand
So
rising
what?
to everybody. Keisha, your resiliency is commendable. I totally empathize with your loving heart, and also hurt for you dealing with low vibrating energies. I don't understand how so many people can have a witch hunt out for you and your family. It's unfortunate. The devil is a lie. But many blessings to you. What is done in the dark will come to the light, and karma is something else. But I wish you and your family the best. Love you, girl, and keep your head up.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. What were you saying, Pashka? I think I had clicked something right when you started
I was
talking.
saying, ain't your mama Leo?
Yeah.
Girl, I knew that. I be telling my mom that. I said, Keisha mom is a Leo too, because y'all act alike. Man, your
But
mom is the sweetest person ever, bro. Like, people don't get to, I guess, see her personality, but that lady will give you the shirt off her back.
yes, my
That's
mom is
Leo
so
mom.
nice.
Boy,
And I
Leo
think that's one of
moms.
also the hardest part about being an influencer is how some people know what you care the most about and they use that against
Mm-hmm.
you. People know
And
I
we
love
love
my
our mama.
daughters. I
Yes.
love my mom. I love my
What?
family. And I go hard for people who I'm in a relationship with. So if you come for
Right.
those people, it's kind of like you coming for me directly. And I've selectively my dad's not big on social media, period. But my mom
Right.
for sure, she was all supportive and for it. But I had to kind of sort of take her out of it because when people started trying to use her and bring her down,
Right.
that's
That's when
nasty.
that's
Like,
when the lines have been completely crossed for me.
and
Yeah.
anybody who would do that is really, really, really an awful person because
Yeah.
you don't bring people's kids or other family members into something, especially mess that you created. And
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I gotta always go hard for my mom because my mom is so nice. She don't do nothing but show up and you
Boy,
know
your mama literally, our Leo moms, period, they're already supportive. But your mom, I've seen it, I've witnessed it. She support whatever you do. She is a rider, like, period. So it's just like I feel like moms and family in general, kids supposed to be off limits. Like, that's just a no no for me.
exactly. And I guess it's just not like that for everybody, but
Hey Keisha, I also wanted to add, I'm sorry, I don't know if you heard the intro, I just said hey. I also wanted to add though that I'm seeing a therapist that's in Georgia and her sessions are only $20. You can be in state, out of state, you don't have to go to her face to face, you can do virtual, but she's literally only $20. And I think I've seen you say before that you were talking to a counselor, but I strongly recommend her. If you would like her information, I can DM it to you on Instagram. And anyone else that's listening, therapy, take care of your mental health. I'll try to keep it short and I'll just take care of your mental health and I can refer you all to her.
oh yes, please DM that to me and I will definitely help get her information out. So
I feel
please,
like
please DM.
everybody needs somebody to talk to. And what
Yes,
better person than a professional that's going to give you the right directions?
yes, agreed.
Hey Keisha, hey Posh. I just want to say that Keisha, you have helped me a lot. I'm 23, I'll be 24 this year. You've helped me a lot with keeping that positive mindset, doing the right thing, even when others do you wrong. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been tested just like you have, being nice to people. Sometimes you even question God, like, I'm doing the right thing, why me? But you've definitely taught me how to keep a positive mindset no matter what, and it's been really, really, really good for me. I'm at peace. I don't know, it doesn't matter what anybody does, I can go to sleep at peace every single night. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much for all of your support. I really do appreciate that.
No disrespect at all to you, Keisha, but if enough is enough, which is what you took to your YouTube platform, why are you continuing to talk about this situation on a whole nother platform? What is the purpose behind all of this? Again, no disrespect. It's just when you said enough is enough, you led people on to think that you were going to be done talking about it, and here we are again.
Oh, that's a good question. That's fair. I'm not upset at all about that. That, like I said, it's fair. Well, this podcast is not necessarily about the situation. I know people have questions about it, or some parts of it may come up, but this entire thing is not about that. My whole thing about the whole enough is enough thing is I am sick and tired of being the brunt of all of this negativity on social media. I have literally sat back quietly and done my job and came back and showed up and showed out and did as much as positive content as I possibly could, while in the background getting so much harassment and slander and bullying and things that people could not imagine. So me saying enough is enough wasn't necessarily specifically about this situation. I think people took this situation and magnified it, and now it's gotten to where we are now. But I think for me, enough is enough is because, like I said, it's like no matter how positive I am on my platform, no matter what content I'm showing, it can be me kissing leprechauns and having rainbows and a pot of gold. There's always somebody who's watching my platform. Thousands of people, as we see, thousands of people who are watching my platform. As soon as I post that vlog at 8 a.m., it's 100 thumbs down. That's 100 people who are tuning in and waking up and starting their day to have something negative to do or say. And not just the thumbs down, people are going over and beyond to try to make my life a living hell. And I still try to come forward and do my job and be positive and only show interest to the people who are positive to me. And I feel like just the excessive amounts of things that I've had to endure being a social media influencer. I talk to my other influencer friends. I know firsthand people who have millions of followers, and I tell them certain things I deal with. They're like, girl, I cannot relate. What's going on over there? And it's just kind of like, for me, this was just like, enough is enough. This is like the last straw. And it was more so like, I'm going to get some intervention at this point, because I've sat back and just let the negativity just continue. But there's a thin line between negativity and blatant hate. And when people are going above and beyond to put my children in danger and my family in danger, because the call that you guys heard at the beginning of that video, my mother was getting calls. My own mother was getting calls at her home of people calling her saying, go show up at Keisha's house and go take care of those kids since you take care of those kids. I don't even know how people even got my mom's number. But they disturbing my mom out of her sleep, and she's calling me like, what's going on? People sending her text messages of her address to her phone, and she's confused. My whole family is scared. No one knows what's going on. And not just with this situation alone. Like I said, this is years. Child Protective Services coming to my home 3-4 times and finding me to be an outstanding parent each and every time is annoying. It's excessive. That's called hatred. When you're doing things like that to try to bring someone down, someone who's only just trying to make a good life for her children. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not out here breaking the law. I'm not out here hurting nobody. And when you go above and beyond, like I said, to me, it was just, I'm sick and tired of every time I answer my phone, I'm thinking someone just calling to check in or just, update me with something. It's always, girl, what's going on with you? One of your fans that reached out. It's like my teachers, professors who I've been with, people I used to work with, girls I used to cheer with when I was a kid. It's like everyone should not have to keep dealing with the drama of YouTube, and they not even on YouTube or even keep up with it. So my enough is enough was not just necessarily about this situation alone. It's about, I now have to stand up for myself and stand up for my children before this really gets to a point where someone is, I'm going to have to make some decisions that's going to be life changing, because I'm not going to keep my kids in danger for something. So it's kind of like, it comes to a point where you've been nice too long. You've sat there and let things go by too long. So not like I said, I want to just keep talking about this situation, because I haven't had an opportunity to speak out truthfully about everything like other people have done. So that's just what my enough is enough is.
Hi, Keisha. Are you open to accepting a few questions in regards to that situation, being that you never really spoke about it or went in depth on your YouTube channel?
I think that's I think somebody else asked me that earlier.
Yeah, I think
Hey
that's
Keisha, hey Posh.
hey girl.
I am also an OG Key. I have been following you since you first entered college. Watching you transform into the woman you are today has been a breeze, a breath of fresh air in a sense. Although you go through your situations, you still seem to maintain like a level head, a level ground. So I really admire that. Continue to be you and stay true to who you are, and everything else will fall into place. And Posh, I have been a follower of yours for a while as well, and I would hope that I can, connect with you one day.
Right.
Hey, Keisha. If you feel comfortable, would you speak on the fact that some people are just upset because they feel like you take the victim role a little bit too far? I personally resonate with what you are trying to get out there to people to understand, like, hey, look, like, I'm a victim too, because they were so quick to, switch sides. But I know there's a thin line between trying to get somebody to understand their place in a situation versus, just claiming to be a victim. So if you could, or if you want to, maybe this would be a good space for you to provide clarity on that, to say, hey, I did have part in X, Y, and Z. However, at the end of the day, you're a victim because the situation was done to you. You didn't ask to, you didn't ask to be in this situation.
Oh yes, for sure. I think I took accountability over and over about my part in the situation. I think the narrative has been spun to believe, a child was made during the time that me and Jeremy were on break. And I just want to say to that, and like I said, I really hate having to talk about all of this, to be honest, because it's very triggering for me emotionally. And I know y'all can resonate with that. But just honestly, the break that me and Jeremy took during the pregnancy with me and the girls was over and done with by the time the child was conceived. And the reason why I feel as though, or I know I am the victim, is, for one, both parties apologized to me. If someone didn't do wrong, they wouldn't be apologizing to you to begin with. And that's just, I never had to sit down and apologize to either one of them for hurting them, because I didn't do anything wrong to either one of them. The problem that I think has been, kind of missed publicly is that both parties did 100% know that I was in a relationship. Now, obviously, it was Jeremy's responsibility to be loyal, but both parties were fully aware. And that's the part that hurt me the most. Now, even when I take myself out of during the time of the child being conceived, I stepped up to the plate and decided I would be the bigger person once she reached out and apologized to me twice, not one time, but twice on over the phone. And then when we sat down as women and she apologized, that's the part where I felt like there was loyalty owed to me. And that's the part where I feel like I was being portrayed by the both of them. Because when you step up to the plate in such an uncomfortable situation and you're willing to be the bigger person and say, let bygones be bygones, because I'm going to do right for the kids. I know I'm the mother of these daughters who are sisters to your son. I'm going to do right by everybody. I'm not going to be the bitter girlfriend. I'm not going to be the girlfriend saying, oh, he never going to be a part of there or over there or doing this or that. Like, I'm going to make this as easy and comfortable for all parties involved, as long as everyone involved knows their place and their role. Me and him know our place. We're in a relationship. You know your place. You just have a son with him. And once everybody can respect that as adults for the children, then I felt like that's when everything could really be for the children. And like I said, the narrative that was spun was, we kind of sort of ignored the fact that we were insensitive to the book being released. But like I said, everyone also knew about the book being released. It just more so I was betrayed once they decided they were going to take matters into their own hands behind my back. Once we all sat down and agreed this is how we're going to move, we're going to respect everybody. We're not trying to step on anyone's toes here. And then when someone entices someone else or uses lustful tactics to, whatever is going on behind closed doors, then it kind of is like every apology that you gave me is now disingenuous. Everything you said to me as a woman is now disingenuous. You didn't never really mean you were sorry. You never really meant that you wanted to do this for the kids, because you had ulterior motives to begin with. And, that's why I feel like I was a victim. Now, however, I stayed after the child was conceived. I got that, but I never tried to pretend I didn't. Like, I never tried to hide that from the world, that, I didn't, stick around for it. But at the end of the day, she was still trying to sleep with him after she apologized. And once you do those types of things, then it's not 100% fair for you then to publicly make this like we put out a book and that's what caused some type of ruckus. No, we sat down as adults and made an agreement for our children, and you guys both as adults made immature and sensitive decisions that would not be in the betterment for our children. While I was being a team player, you guys are being selfish, and those type of things aren't going to help our kids. And that's just pretty much what happened. Like I said, ultimately, I 100% tell Jeremy he's at fault for what he did. I had no idea about the things that I found out until they transpired the way they did over the internet. I didn't have no idea. What I did know was I was there showing up happy with a smile on my face when she brought her child over to meet his sisters. That's what I know I did. When she came to my home, I opened the door regardless of how she felt or what she, was believing. I know I did my part. And there was a lot of receipts that, came out, and, she's entitled to that. But at the end of the day, there's also a lot of receipts that were cut off and misconstrued and chopped and screwed. And, and my counselor has always told me people want you to know the bad, but they only want you to know the bad version of how they want you to feel. They don't want you to know the real bad. So of course the receipts are going to look in favor of one person when they're the one showing them, because you don't want anybody to look at you like you did anything wrong. But the receipts that I saw, and when people are telling people that I'm in a relationship with to create fake pages to hide me and change codes and do this and do that and just have malicious intent, that's where the line is crossed. And these things happened before a book even came out. So I feel like, I tried to do the right thing. Some people may call it overstepping. I feel like it's called being mature and doing the right thing. I extended the olive branch. I, did my part when someone confided in me of what their needs were for their child. And I said, I don't have no problem showing you that I'm a woman of my word. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. If I say I'm going to buy and show you that I support you and your child, I'm going to do that. And that's what I did. And it's just very hurtful when I see people mocking me online and saying, very slick comments about my generous acts at that time, because genuinely I had nothing but good intentions for the whole entire situation, despite how hurtful it was for me to deal with it. Because it was definitely hurtful to be pregnant and get some results of that magnitude. But like I said, I tried to, swallow my pride. I knew I stuck around in that relationship. So when I got the results, it wasn't time for me to backtrack and run and cry and say, well, how could you, when I already knew what happened and what transpired? And I got to be a woman now. I got to stand by what I said I was going to do. And when I said, and I wrote my wrongs with myself and with God and the situation, then like I said, I got to just keep it moving and keep it pushing in that aspect. We all adults, we all human, we all make mistakes. But when you perpetuate a problem that you caused by going on the internet and spinning false narratives and trying to make someone look so bad when they tried so hard to be good or tried as best as they possibly could to be fair to your feelings and inclusive in the equation, then it is kind of very unsettling to see some of those type of things unfold, because, to me, I just couldn't believe it. Like, I really could not. But it is what it is. And like I said, now that I know what I know and I've seen what I've seen, I know it takes two to tango. I know it takes two to tango. So this ain't to say you did what or she did who or none of that. It takes two to tango. And at the end of the day, the person I sleep beside is the one who owes me the most loyalty. But as women, we do owe loyalty to ourselves. And as a woman and as a person, you owe loyalty to people when you make agreements with them. And I can say out of the agreement we all made as three adults, I did hold up my end of the bargain by being welcoming and accepting to the child that I said I didn't have no problem doing. And that's all that can be fair throughout that situation. I don't have nothing negative to say about her. I know a lot of people on here and they want to hear tea, or they want me to bash her, or they want to run back. This ain't that. My daughter still have a brother out here. My youngest daughter has a brother that she has yet to meet, and he's about to be one. And at the end of the day, I can't control that. I gotta eject myself out of this situation, because me trying to be a part of it and trying to put myself in and try to help move and navigate everything, that's not going to help me out, and it's dangerous not going to help my kids out. That's something they got to work out. That's something they share a seed, and then he has other 3 seeds over here he got to take care of. So Jeremy, first and foremost, has to handle his own situation and his own problems, and I just got to make sure that I keep being the best mom and protecting my daughters the way I can, and keep being a boss, and keep, grinding and keeping my head up. As women, we got to do better with doing that tit for tat and trying to bring other women down. This ain't about jealousy. This ain't about envy. This is about respect. And at the end of the day, I have tried my best, despite how my hands have been dealt to me. I've tried to be as respectful as I possibly could, even when I seen people pretty much spit right down on my name, talk about my children, talk about my mother, talk about everything, just to try to make it seem like I'm just such a bad person. And like I've told everybody who wants to have parts of social media, and I tell my friends, you got to stop answering to people who you're not going to call in a case of emergency. Don't try to appease strangers over the internet when you got people in real life who you falling out with or causing friction with, who actually matter to you. And ultimately speaking, like I said, I want the best for my daughter. So that's why I've chosen to suppress my receipts, because what do I look like coming? Because now it's just going to make the situation even worse. All I want to know is everything that was shared was not the whole truth. The way I was spoken about was very wrong, because I've never publicly done any of that. No one can ever get one receipt of me publicly. Of course, I'm not going to say I'm not going to talk crazy when I'm behind the scenes, but that's why I told y'all early in the conversation, you pick and you choose the types of things you come to the internet with. There's things and conversations in y'all phone that y'all would never want to come to. And I'm pretty sure y'all done talk crazy about your mom, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and your phone, right? But on the internet or where it matters, you gonna conduct yourself. But when your mama show up, you ain't gonna be talking like, dang, I can't stand my mama. You're not gonna do all that. So that's why I've always tried to maintain that type of integrity and respect about myself as a woman and a mother first, before going on the internet trying to, be negative and do that whole tit for tat. And it's just real unfortunate that this whole situation has escalated to the point where now my kids are put in danger for a situation, quite frankly, I didn't even put myself in. But, just everybody believes what they want to believe about the situation. But one thing I want to be able to say for a fact, I never sat back and I never harassed nobody. I didn't create no fake accounts and whatever types of things that were said. I never did those types of things. One thing I stand by what I did. One thing about me, I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. And like I've always said, when I reached out, it was always through my phone number or my business number. Those few short times within those many months, I never harassed nobody. So when you sit and you lie on someone's name, and you lie on someone's name, and now this is now to the detriment of their namesake for their businesses, and you're letting people call them a harasser and a stalker or whatever. When I've been woman from the very beginning, I've always come to people like a woman. And you don't have to come to people like a woman when your man is the one messing up. I know that now, but that is what I did. I always came like a woman and addressed the woman who I had a problem with. I've always been the direct type of person. I don't have to do internet. I go direct, and that's why I maintained that. But even after we sat down as women and we agreed and apologized and decided we would move on, just to know in a matter of a few days, you're messaging, telling my boyfriend to put Face ID on and sending him inappropriate videos and things like that, that's hurtful for me. That's hurtful to me. That's very, very hurtful, because when I trust that he goes over there to spend time with his son, because that's what he has to do, not what Keisha give him permission to do. That's what he has to do as a man, as a father. But when he does that, I'm trusting that those two people are co-parenting and doing what they need to do by their child. I'm not over here trying to worry about whether or not they're doing this or funneling goodies or whatever it may be. I'm trying to trust and be mature enough in the situation to handle that. And, like I said, when I see those types of things, and then people say that I'm making fake pages, I'm the one who doing this, and there's been several pages made just specifically just to cheat. That's just kind of like, that's not cool. That's not fair. Like, you don't got to throw me under the bus. And ultimately speaking, it's like a lot of those things happened after the book even came out. So for you to publicly, state we're such bad people, we're so ungodly, we're so this, then keep that same energy across the board. Just like I'm keeping this energy right now, I know Jeremy and her did what they did. That was not just her. I'm not sitting here talking about just her. I'm talking about both of them. Both of them. But I got to keep that same energy that I have for her. keep with him. And for a while, I wasn't like that. Sometimes I want to be more mad at her. I'm a woman enough to admit that I want to be more mad at her. But I realized along the way when I grew up and I realized, girl, no, this is what he did to you. You got to be mad at him. You got to hold him accountable. He got to be held more accountable than she got to be held more accountable. But at the same time, it's just kind of like I said, when this book came out, that's what everybody ran with. You all wrote the book. You all started this. So when the book came out and text messages and everything still flying, then how really could you be so upset about a book when you didn't have no problem with the book? You just had problems with me. You went to the internet and talked about me. You allowed your friends and everybody else and other people's platforms to talk about me and my family and everything like that. And like I said, that's where I say it's not cool. So it's not about who's a better woman, who's this, who Jeremy loves, who gives a damn. Ain't nobody with him. So who gives a damn who he loves? No, but that ain't what's really important. What's important is when you look in the mirror, you happy with the reflection that you see. And I, for so long, had to realize when I looked in the mirror, I'm not too happy with what I'm letting occur in my life. I'm not too happy with what I'm not taking accountability for. So that's why when I reached out and I apologized to the world, to her, and everybody else, it was me taking back my own control of this situation and me holding myself accountable and finding my own worth and being able to keep my head high and knowing what parts I played, knowing what I allowed, knowing what I didn't know, and being okay with the world not knowing every single thing. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is I know a lot of people like to look at situations like this and say, well, whose side? It's not a side. It's the side of the kid. This the side of the kids. Other than that, who gives it? Who cares? Who cares about all that? And I feel like that's why I say it's so hurtful, because we having this whole conversation about a book, and there's a bigger picture here than just a book. There are lives here that's at stake. There are siblings here who are now suffering at the hands of grown people's mistakes and decisions that you intentionally made that you didn't have to make. When you had someone willing to accept and love you and your child into their home when they didn't have to. So that's where, like I said, after the book came out and there's still text messages and things being said to him and him to her as well, it's kind of like I said, it's not about the book. It wasn't never about the book. It was just about me. It was just about me. And that's just real unfortunate at that point. But I just don't want everyone to think that for a second I overexerted myself. You can't co-parent if you're lying. You can't do certain things if you're lying. As women, we have to understand the type of things that we accept and we allow. And yes, I may have accepted and allowed at one point infidelity to happen and to stay. But when you walk into a situation where you know someone has a family, and you know, and you meet this family and they welcome you and you sit and break bread with them in their home, then you got to start taking accountability somewhere as well. You got to start taking accountability somewhere as well. And I also want to defend my mother in some regard, just briefly, because I know she's been painted to be a monster. My mom does not deserve that. My mom doesn't deserve that. She's not no social media influencer. She's not trying to be cookie cutter. When she comes and does her job and is a grandmother, my mom not trying to get dressed to impress, talk the talk, walk the walk. She's just trying to be Sandra. That's all she's trying to do, is love her grandkids. I don't really appreciate things that have been said about her. And I will say this. My mother found out about Jeremy having a child outside of our relationship the day before she met the child and the mother. The day before. My best friend found out and it was confirmed the day before. My best friend flew in to Atlanta, surprised me the day of, and within an hour of her surprising me, we found out that he and she was coming over. I sucked it up. And I said, it's okay. I said I was going to be a team player. Let me be a team player. I didn't give myself time to heal, process, or nothing. I said, let me suck it up and be a team player. And like I said, my mom had no idea. But you just put yourself in the perspective of a woman who's finding out, a mother who's finding out something like that. Because I'm a mother of 3 women as well myself now. So I can only imagine if I'm seeing my daughter enjoy the happiest time of their life and then they tell me some craziness like that. And my mom is hurting and processing. But one thing I want to say is when she walked in that door, she didn't speak to my mother in my house, not the other way around. My mother's nice. My mother's respectful. She didn't speak to my mother. And my mom didn't press her, nor did I. But one thing that did happen is she went outside and decided to smoke with her sister while I took her child in my room and cared for him and made sure he was okay after spending time in the pool with his sisters with no hesitation. And shortly after my mom seen me doing that, it hurt her to her heart that she just got her stuff and said, I'm just gonna go home, and made sure that I was good with my best friend. It wasn't no malice. My mom not no bully. My mom is not no evil woman. And even after she reached out and told me she was uncomfortable not being spoken to, I told her straight up I was uncomfortable with this whole situation. But we all got to grow up and realize that we got to do what we got to do as parents for these kids. And I talked to my mom, and as hard as it was for her to accept, I said, when she come back over, Ma, I want you to speak. And she did that for me, for her child. So there's certain things that you do for the sake of your kids when you have a certain mindset and mental. There's certain things you're going to do for your kids, because as hard as it was for my mother to say hello that second time around, she did it for me. And I want y'all to understand, as hard as it was for me to allow her in our home and accept that position in our lives, I did it for my daughters. And I don't allow my kids around people I don't trust. But sometimes you got your hands tied, you got to. And then after all of that happened, someone went on a platform and said I harassed them. Now I got to lose brand deals because I harassed somebody. I just don't deserve the threats that I'm getting.
You.
Hello?
You fucking. Hey.